that you could have missed out during the week, as we start off with the head of state. President Museveni urged China to expand its market for finished goods during a meeting with a delegation from the National People's Congress of China, headed by the Standing Committee's Deputy Chairman, His Excellency Longsang Jingchan, at State House, Entebbe. He stressed the importance of China opening its market to processed coffee and other finished products, emphasizing that this support is vital for Uganda's prosperity. President Museveni highlighted China's previous gesture of allowing 400 products to enter their country without tax or limit, expressing gratitude for this support and underlining the significance of trading in finished products rather than raw materials. Acknowledging China's historical support to Africa, President Museveni praised their assistance in various Ugandan projects such as hydro dams, the expressway, and technological initiatives through companies like Huawei. He also thanked China for backing Africa's quest for reform in the UN Security Council and confirmed China's participation in upcoming summits in Kampala. In response, His Excellency Longsang expressed China's appreciation for President Museveni's dedication to China-Uganda and China-Africa relations. He commended Uganda's progress under President Museveni's leadership and affirmed China's commitment to supporting Uganda's socio-economic development. Additionally, Longsang confirmed China's support for Uganda hosting international summits, highlighting their significance in strengthening solidarity among developing nations. He conveyed President Jinping's regret at not being able to attend in person due to a busy schedule, but assured the sending of a high-level delegation to participate. The meeting witnessed the presence of Ugandan officials, including the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Government Chief Whip, and the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. In most state activities, President Museveni was over the weekend in Arusha, Tanzania, joining his counterpart at the 23rd Ordinary Summit of the East African Community Heads of State. On arrival at Kilimanjaro International Airport, Museveni was welcomed by Honorable Hussein Mohamed, the Minister of Agriculture of Tanzania, among other officials. On the Ugandan side, he was welcomed by Honorable Jacob Oboth, the Minister of State for Defense, Ambassador Anne Katsime, Uganda's Defense Advisor to Tanzania, Brigadier General Ronald Solomon Bijirwa, Brigadier General Richard Karemire, and Ambassador Colonel Retired Fred Mwesigye, who is Uganda's High Commissioner to the United Republic of Tanzania, Zambia, Mozambique, Malawi, Mauritius, Comoros, Madagascar, and also Uganda's permanent representative to East African Community and COMESA. The Arusha Summit ran under the theme, Accelerating Economic Recovery Through Climate Action and Enhancing Food Security for Improved Livelihoods. So President Salva Kiir of South Sudan assumed the chairmanship of the summit from Burundi's Evariste. In other news, the director of the Eastern Africa Standby Force, Brigadier General Retired Paul Kahuria Jema, has urged participants at the just concluded African Integrated Mission Planning course for the Eastern Africa Standby Force to be cognizant of the strategic objective initiated by their leaders for a common African defense and security mechanism of the African Union. General Jema made the call as he presided over the closure of a one-day week training that was held in Entebbe. The course, which was was composed of the military, police and civilian components aimed at preparing participants for any dynamic mission towards addressing a crisis scenario. The Director of Personnel and Administration, Air Force, Brigadier General Julius Bagonza, who represented the Chief of Staff, Air Force, urged the participants to enhance their knowledge and understanding of integrated crisis management approaches and collaboration among its different stakeholders, namely the police and civilian components, amidst the security dynamics in the region. The Eastern Africa Standby Force currently consists of 10 member states: Burundi, Comoros, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya, Rwanda, Seychelles, Somalia, Sudan and Uganda.
Therefore, the instructors are very happy that indeed you are able to learn, and you are now better able to plan for this integrated mission. I also take this opportunity to thank all the ESF member states for availing you to participate in this course. All the 10 member states have been represented. We want to say it's not just having this course, that 1 week. We want, when you come together, the greater part of what we are looking at is integration. When you meet your brother, your sister from that other member country, somebody you can always pick a phone and call and say, hi, what's happening? We have had this issue, we have had this from your country, what's happening? Okay? So we are not just meeting here for that cause. That cause is just meant to bring you together, to bring the Eastern African region, member states, population together, and therefore we can be able to, together we can be able to move as one. I put to a closure of this course, and I want you to go out there and be our good ambassadors. Please preach peace. Ensure that you put the team together and continue to, to preach that we want a peaceful region. We want a region that we want to be visiting, not to come and solve issues. No, we want to be visiting each other. So without much ado, I will now declare this course officially closed.
More activities from state. The First Lady, also Minister for Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has urged African women to fight and change their habit of failing to save most of the money that they earn if they are to gain financial independence. Mrs. Museveni was delivering her remarks at the Women Annual Thanksgiving and launch of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development Unifying Campaign for Kenya, held at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, Nairobi.
The First Lady contrasted the spending habits of African women with those of their Asian counterparts, saying that though African women are very hardworking people, they spend almost all the money they make as it comes in, unlike the Asian women who, she said, strive to save most of the money they make. Mrs. Janet Museveni was delivering her remarks at the Joyful Women Annual Thanksgiving and the launch of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development Unifying Campaign for Kenya, held at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, Nairobi. The event was organized by Mrs. Rachel Ruto, the First Lady of Kenya and founder and patron of the Joyful Women Organization, and was also attended by visiting First Ladies of Burundi, Mrs. Angelina Andiashimie, of Ghana, Mrs. Rebecca Na, and of Namibia, Mrs. Monica Giongos, who is also the president of OFLAD and was graced by the president of Kenya, William Samuel Ruto, as the chief guest. Mrs. Museveni used the great opportunity of the big gathering of women to rally African women to fight the phenomenon of failure to save. She shared the inspirational example of the Bangladesh women who saved so much money and founded the Grameen Bank. She added that these women also made sure they had a component in their funding to lend to street children and to beggars on the street, which helped empower all those people who had no way of starting income-generating activities.
Therefore, my prayer, dear sisters, is that I will live to see Africa with no street children, no beggars, and one day, hopefully, we will say no to the World Bank. I congratulate my sister and friend, Mama Rachel, on 14 years of the Lord's goodness and favor upon this great ministry to the women of Kenya. That was birthed under the exemplary leadership. I thank you for remembering to give thanks to the Lord and inviting all of us to have the opportunity to share this day with you.
Kenya's First Lady Mrs. Rachel Ruto described women's economic empowerment as her passion and calling.
By providing women with the tools, opportunities, and information required, their lives and families are transformed. Through Joyful Women, a table banking-based economic empowerment program, women who were previously financially excluded meet every month to save and borrow money from the table and use it to build their enterprises and repay their loans.
At the same time, women are the anchors of all households and the engines that keep our societies and economies running.
In their remarks, the First Ladies of Burundi, Ghana, Namibia, and other speakers of the day all lauded and thanked Mrs. Ruto for unwavering commitment to advance the rights and empowerment of women. Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
UBC Weekly News Roundup. King Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru Rukidi IV has unveiled his short documentary, The King Oyo Royal Rwenzori Mountain Expedition, with the primary aim of promoting tourism in the region and showcasing the natural wonders and beauty of the Rwenzori Mountains. Premiered at the International University of East Africa, King Oyo called on the government to take a more proactive role in promoting responsible tourism.
His Majesty Omukama Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru Rukidi IV took up the challenge to climb Mount Rwenzori to fulfill his childhood dream and draw attention to the impact of climate change, emphasizing the significant role of environmental conservation and promoting the Rwenzori Mountain as a unique adventure tourism attraction.
Put it up, yes. Now climb up.
One of the most visible consequences of climate change in Uganda is the rapid loss of glaciers, which have reduced from 6.5 square kilometers in 1906 to less than 1 square kilometer in 2003. These Rwenzori glaciers are projected to disappear before the end of this century.
Climate change is not just a distant threat. It is affecting our environment right here, right now. The increasing frequency and intensity of extreme adverse weather events, such as storms, droughts, and floods, are clear indicators of the impact we are facing. Our rivers are drying up, biodiversity is declining, and ecosystems are under immense pressure.
This expedition, led by King Oyo, serves as a testament to his commitment to the sustainable development and prosperity of Toro, while highlighting the captivating allure of Uganda's natural treasures.
Tourism not only brings economic prosperity, but also plays a vital role in raising awareness about the importance of preserving our natural heritage. I believe that through responsible tourism, we can inspire visitors to become active participants in conservation efforts and sustainable practices. Preserving our natural resources is paramount to ensuring a thriving environment for generations to come.
The message in the gospel tonight revolves around a deep appreciation for their patriotic king, who has taken the bold step to explore Uganda's vast tourism potential.
Give a clear message out there that Uganda is the most beautiful mountain to hike. You can't compare it. If the Kenyans were here, the Tanzanians. Yes, the debate is clear. There is no mountain that has beauty like this we've just seen.
Mary Namkose, Juma Nsamba, UBC News.
When I asked, they explained to me that they were...
Well, congratulations to the king right there. Now, in other updates, the International Conference on the Great Lakes region has explained why mediation efforts sometimes fail to succeed in addressing conflict among warring parties. The Deputy Executive Secretary, ICGLR, Ambassador Yasir Ibrahim Ali Mohammed, says failure to follow up on mediation processes fails the efforts are leading to prolonged conflict. He said this during the closure of a media training for a network of journalists held at Gitenga in Burundi.
Addressing root causes of conflict is one of the factors that mediation experts often look into. This, however, requires patience, and any attempt to rush the process may fail the effort. These were the words of Ambassador Yasir Ibrahim Ali Mohammed as he closed a two-day training for journalists at Gitega in Burundi.
It is very rare that a mediation process or a negotiation process to succeed from the first session. This is very rare. It have to take some time because you need to address the root causes of the problem. You need to satisfy and to address the concerns of the parties, whether it is 2 or 3 or more parties.
To succeed in the endeavor, a follow-up mechanism needs to be adopted to ensure success of the mediation efforts.
Because if you organize a meeting and you bring the 2 sides, they discuss, they agree, and then they go, each one goes back to his country, and there is no follow-up, mediation will fail, of course. There is a need for a follow-up mechanism.
This statement coming months after unrest broke out in one of the Great Lakes countries, Sudan. The International Conference on the Great Lakes region is on course to find a lasting remedy to the Khartoum unrest.
Contacts with the African Union, with IGAD, and with other partners to address this problem. Also, the Executive Secretary also is planning to visit Sudan, also in the same way. So our efforts are ongoing.
The International Conference on the Great Lakes region is made up of 12 countries. The new network of journalists from the region were acquainted with knowledge on Secretariat activities, including conflict prevention and management. Henry Okrut, UBC.
From such an update, right from Okorut, we get to health updates, something that you can't miss out. Preterm birth is the leading cause of neonatal mortality and morbidity. Early diagnosis and interventions are critical to improving the clinical outcomes of extremely premature infants. In our special feature, experts explain the causes of preterm babies and patterns of psychological distress in mothers of preterm infants.
Preterm birth is a stressful event for families. The unexpected early delivery may cause negative feelings in mothers and fathers. The World Health Organization defines preterm as birth that occurs before 37 weeks of gestation. Frank Namakula, a mother from Chiboga district, narrates her ordeal and how she is coping, having given birth to a baby at 25 weeks. Namakula says that she got a referral from Chiboga Hospital to Mulago Specialized Women and Neonatal Hospital.
So when we went to theater, I knew what I was going to face. I was ready for anything. But thank God the baby came out alive. He was taken to a nursery. The first day I didn't go to see him, but after the first day I went there and it was, I can say it was traumatizing. The baby was so little. It was my first experience. It was my first, because him being my first child, I can say it was traumatizing.
Research has shown that premature birth is a distressing event for parents that often report symptoms of post-traumatic stress for several years.
During the course of the journey, there is that week that was really traumatizing for me. They kept telling me to do those tests, I found them so hard tests. I remember the doctor telling me, now we are going to the Heart Institute. I was like, Jesus Christ. You do not want to know what I thought. I saw myself on a plane to India. I saw myself doing car washes, all those things. When they told me Heart Institute, I was like, okay, it's over now. Then from the Heart Institute, they were telling me we are now going to do our brain test. So just know that week wasn't easy for me because all the tests were really hard. And when they tell you a test today, the test is going to be done the next day. That whole time you're thinking so much. Now what if it's negative? What if it's this? What if it's that?
Namakula advised fellow mothers who are nursing preterm babies not to lose hope or even abandon their precious babies.
I think it's not necessary to lose hope, sincerely. Because if you're seeing someone grow, it's like planting something and then you're seeing it grow. You know that happiness you have, that courage. You leave alone all the challenges. You leave alone all the challenges. You put aside everything. The fact that you're seeing something that you're waiting for. This is something that you're waiting for, something that is keeping you in the hospital. But it's improving. It's growing. I think that alone is good enough to keep us moving.
The Parliamentary Committee on Health is now advocating for increased months for maternity leave for working mothers who give birth to preterm babies. And Namakula supports the move. Mulago Specialized Women and Unato Hospital has set up a mothers club where mothers meet social workers and psychologists to discuss how to deal with stress.
So counseling goes on. Because of the mental issues that may be going on in the mother's mind, also the fathers. So there is support even to breastfeeding and many other areas.
The executive director of Mulago Women's Hospital revealed that in the last year's admission, the hospital admitted over 1,385 babies, and out of which 35% were preterm babies.
The proportion that was less than 1,000 grams was 12.6%. This is quite significant for us as a country to see that we are able to look after babies as less than 1,000 grams. And we are seeing success. We are seeing our babies survive. And I'm glad to let you know that the lowest surviving baby was born at 24 weeks of pregnancy. A normal pregnancy is from 37 weeks and above. This baby was around 5.5 months and weighed 500 grams.
Preterm birth is the leading cause of neonatal mortality and morbidity, and early diagnosis and interventions are critical to improve the clinical outcomes of extremely premature infants.
So with a dedicated team of health workers, committed, highly skilled, and with the equipment that we have and the medical supplies, it has been made possible. So we are grateful to the government of Uganda that has made this possible for us.
Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
Well, a job well done to Mulago Hospital. Moving on, war victims living around a Balonyo memorial site where the Lord's Resistance Army massacred hundreds of people in 2004 have received clean pipe water in response to water crisis in the community. Water crisis the community has been grappling with. The solar-powered water system is constructed with a capacity to produce 3,500 liters per hour to serve 7 villages surrounding this site.
The Barlonyo massacre on February 21, 2004 was one of the worst atrocities committed by Lord's Resistance Army. 121 people are reported to have been slaughtered by the rebels. 19 years later, the place has risen from ashes to the World Monumental Site for Peace. Besides government efforts in constructing roads and institutions at and around the site, locals say access to clean water has been a challenge. The only borehole in the parish was being shared by 7 villages.
We suffer for many years without water as Balonyo. Imagine 7 villages with 1 borehole. So this water will help us a lot.
Otuke Harvest Foundation, a non-governmental organization, has constructed a solar-powered water system in this area with the capacity to produce 3,500 liters hourly.
We are going to see the catchment and the population who are going to use that. Then we shall compete for them how much money each should pay per month to help them what? In facilitating the operation and maintenance.
Joseph Opio, the project coordinator, explained that the project focuses to empower war victims economically.
The source will come from the borehole we drill, pumping the water direct to the tap, to the tank, so that from here, distribution of water can now go to different households.
A water source can be motorized into a pipe water system if it can produce a minimum of 2,500 liters of water per hour. The water system will serve the entire area, including schools and the health center under construction, without any shortage. Ediolwa, UBC News.
Now moving on to business, right, I'll take you to post handling, where National Agricultural Research Laboratories of Kawanda did introduce a new post-harvest handling technology to minimize losses. The new maize sheller and cassava chipper are said to be changing farmers' lives and operations. Iman Simon Modobera, a mechanical agriculture researcher at Kawanda, says research is appropriate technology. It helps farmers to work faster than use of human labor.
It is a demonstration on the use of a new manual maize sheller, an innovation by National Agricultural Research Laboratories of Kawanda. Iman Simon Mudobera, a mechanical engineer, is the effort behind the demonstration.
This machine is purely for domestic shelling of maize. Before this was invented, maize is put in the sack and then you use sticks to bang to shell. In the process, there is a lot of post-harvest loss, and it calls for a lot of time and a lot of labor.
This is not all. Whereas the manual sheller shells 5 bags of maize a day, its motorized counterpart does it differently.
This maize sheller before you is able to shell maize up to 700 to 1 ton per hour using a liter of petrol or diesel. This innovation is so important in a way that you can use it for domestic or commercial purposes.
Such innovation is what has been extended to cassava harvest management. The cassava chipper is used with assurance of quality and quick consumption.
I remember when I was growing up in the village, we could even have quarrels with my mother because we could forget to get the cassava out of the kitchen one morning and the cassava goes bad. But with this invention, this machine, this cassava chipper motorized, it is able to chip cassava, and this cassava which is chipped is able to dry in a day.
To ensure that these harvests are bumper from the farm, a new sprayer has been developed to reduce time wastage.
Literally, before this innovation, you were supposed to carry 20 liters on your back, you pump as you spray. 20 liters is equivalent of 20 kilograms. So you can imagine if you are spraying an acre, carrying a weight of 20 kilograms, it is so tedious. But with this invention, the 20 liters are on the wheel, on the cycle wheel, and then as you move, the pressure is created in the jerry can, which helps the pressurized fluid to flow out and spread the crops.
And that remains part of the innovations that the National Agricultural Research Organization, NARO, continues to put in place. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Returning shortly with our guest for the day after these messages.
Jovia. Ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa, amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ag'ewala ennyo, okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo, ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo. Okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa. Jovia, kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli.
Tewali kkubo ku ki ky'osobola okukola ku mukutu nnantameggwa ogwa MTN.
West Nile Education Trust Fund announces the 4th annual fundraising dinner to be hosted in Kampala at Kampala Parents Main Hall on Saturday, the 2nd of December 2023, starting at 4 p.m. The Trust Fund targets to support brilliant but needy students from West Nile region to join public universities to study selected professional courses. The fund is currently supporting 28 students in the different public universities across the country. The West Nile Education Trust Fund calls upon all education-loving individuals, corporations, organizations and all well-wishers and associates of West Nile to support this initiative. Tickets are on sale at 100,000 Ugandan shillings per person, 180,000 shillings for a couple, and a corporate table of 6 persons costs 1 million Ugandan shillings. For more information, you can contact Mr. Charles Rakabo on 0772 603 162, Mr. Robert Ejiku on 0772 522 619, and Miss Carol Andama on 0772 760 210.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret? Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM? Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk. No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving. Juko. I thought I was one of your friends. You are. But you left me behind. I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Over 1,000 children with disabilities in Uganda every 5 years have not had access to adequate education. And this has been basically due to lack of assistive devices to enable them get reasonable accommodation in schools. Mokisa Humanity and Inclusion Foundation is leading a campaign to fundraise for assistive devices for 500 children with disabilities to get in school in the year 2024. Join us to fundraise for braille machines, slates and styluses, white cane, braille paper, hearing aids, wheelchairs, audiobooks, book recorders, JAWS software, among others on 10th December at Hotel Africana. Register your child with a disability by calling us on 0740 55 04 95 or 0783 91 1114. Donations from well-wishers are also welcome. Entrance is 100,000, 150,000, 200,000, and a table goes for 1 million shillings. This is sponsored by UBC, Mokisa Inclusive Schools, Mokisa Nursery and Primary School, Herona Hospital, Msafiri Tours, and Malia Foundation.
Jovia. Ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa, amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ag'ewala ennyo, okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo, ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo. Okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa. Jovia, kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli.
Tewali kkubo ku ki ky'osobola okukola omukutu nnantameggwa ogwa MTN.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Welcome back. Good to know you're still watching and following the weekly news roundup. Our special guest for the day, I am joined by Jennifer Kalule. Some names you can't miss out. If you could think about your name, you're most welcome.
Thank you, Sandra.
To our studios. Thank you for making time.
I mean, thank you for always giving me the opportunity. A very good afternoon to all our viewers out there.
Well, congratulations to the parents out there. Of course, it's been a smooth journey, I should say, with a job well done. Congratulations to you people.
Yeah, we do
having a
appreciate.
smooth flow throughout the PLE, the UCE. Well, Jennifer is here to give us a brief or a recap of how the process has been, knowing that some other candidates are still sitting their papers.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sandra. Like you said, we'd like to say congratulations to everybody who has been part of this process. When we were beginning this journey, we said our theme was integrity and security in the management of examinations. The health and management of examinations is a joint responsibility. And that meant that we wanted everybody to be on board. And we have clearly seen everybody joining us. We've seen a joint responsibility from everybody who has been part of this. Talking about the candidates, they did their bit, the teachers, we had the invigilators, we had the scouts, we had the local governments who did a tremendous job to support us. We had the media that was always highlighting the issues and highlighting whatever needed to be highlighted. And making the examinations an agenda item, we do not take that for granted. So to all the media colleagues out there, we want to say thank you so much for supporting the NEP process and for always highlighting the NEP issue, the examinations. And then we had the members of the general public. Most of the cases that we had where we had malpractice, we had members of the public giving us reports, whistleblowing, alerting us here and there. This is likely to happen. We've caught wind of this. And then we would work with the police, with the investigative agencies, the security teams, and even the judiciary. Everybody has been very supportive, and now we can confidently say that we have had a smooth operation. We have had a smooth examination for PLE, for UCE, and for USCE, which is going into its third week. This week here, USC is going to their third week. This week we are going to have Germany, tomorrow ICT, and ICT, German, and submath, and a number of other papers for entire week, and they'll be finishing on Friday, the 1st of December. Meantime, we've successfully concluded the UCE and PLE. So we have vacationists out there. We no longer have candidates, although for us they are still candidates. I know they're excited over there. We want to welcome you back home and to wish you all the blessings. Please take good care of yourselves. They've been so busy reading now. They may have so much time on themselves. They don't even know what to do with it. And this is now where the role of the parents comes in. The joint responsibility, even during the holidays, during the long vacation. We assure these candidates, these people have come back home safely. Please keep them safe. Take care of their health and take care of their safety, take care of their spiritual needs, of their emotional needs. They've got so much energy. They need to be utilized. They need to be supported to see how best to put this energy to positive use. So as parents around home, you need to find ways of creatively engaging these young people. Whatever, depending on what you can do, what you need, what you think. I remember for us, our dad would take, our parents would take us for tailoring, and then others would go for catering or things like that. Get them involved, and there are many other. There are camps for spiritual people who are spiritual. They can go to camps. They can go and serve in church, but let them be gainfully occupied. All in all, I can say it's been a very smooth. It's been, we had some issues here and there of malpractice, but I can confidently say we did not get a leakage in any of our papers.
Well, any developments or plans ahead, I should say, knowing that we still have some other candidates who are yet to sit their examinations, or maybe lessons learned now that you speak about the malpractices and, of course, the whistleblowing that has been going on in the public?
First and foremost, I wanted to say we haven't received any leakage whereby a paper gets into public domain, and people have picked wind of it. There were those issues we had about people trying to do social media sharing. All the things they're sharing were wrong, but all the same, we got to them. And then there are those who try to cut our envelopes when they reach to school so they can pick out a paper and share. We have a team of about 16 people in some school in Kanyanya, and on Friday they were given bail. They were given bail, so they're out on bail. And then we have other cases of malpractice, mainly external assistance, and some cases of impersonation, whereby somebody is registered and they're not there to do for somebody else an examination. And now, well, we are going to let the due process take place. The judicial process is going to take place, and we shall wait to be called upon, maybe to be witnesses or to give our aspects. But what I want to say is that our law is very clear. For any of the offenses that are in the Act, they're all criminal offenses. Many of them, it takes between, the charges are between 5 million shillings to 10 million, rather 5 years to 10 years imprisonment. And then in terms of fine, they are between 20 million to 40 million shillings, depending on the judicial officer who will be handling the case. So for us now, we hand it over to the judiciary, and we wait to be called upon. Nabuel has many cases pending. We have cases in Impiji, which are going to be had in Impiji, in Nabuelu. We shall follow the due process. But in the meantime, getting back to our main core, because at the end of the day, no one is going to ask us how many people were in court. They're going to ask us, where are the results? Now the candidates have finished, they're waiting. They've done their bit, they're waiting to receive their results. So on our bit right now, we are beginning with the marking process. We have a number of examiners, and this process is the applying to be an examiner. We do open the portal for applications in April of every year. So all the teachers, if you teach the subject and you teach in a candidate class or a sub-candidate class, you are encouraged to apply. However, UNEP is a very possessive entity, if I can say. You either choose to be an examiner for UNEP or for the media. So for people you see who put stuff in the media, I don't know, whatever they put in the media, you don't work with us. We cannot be an examiner of UNEP, an examiner of the media, have a media house. You have to choose. But that's now. But
right now, as we speak.
Right now, as we speak, yeah, we are beginning the marking process. Today actually we have the process for the coordination process for PLE and for UCE. We have all the scripts together. They're being sorted out, and we are rolling. We expect to have a number of procedures going on, but we hope that by the 2nd or 3rd week of January, we should be able to release the PLE results, and then 2 weeks later, we release the UCE results, and then in February, we release the USCE results. So we are doing the due processes. All our examiners out there want to thank you for accepting to work with us under the circumstances. If you have been invited, be ready to go to your station at the right time that you are told to be there. all our coordinators for UCE and PLE, we do expect you to come to your centers. The senior examiners, the transcribers, please come to your centers today, and we shall begin the process.
Wow. Looks like there's a lot of hard work, but transparency is key in this.
Yeah.
Maybe clearing the airwaves when it comes to the social media whistleblowing that has been ongoing from a number of different regions. Yes.
Talking of social media, this week we had we've had our bits, you know, with social media, and this week we had an unfortunate incident where somebody put on something saying that there was, I think the message was to the effect that there was an error in the physics paper, in the physics papers of UCE, that's senior 4, and that because of that error, you may be seeing that the candidates are going to do the physics paper again. When somebody first called me, I'm like, what madness is this? I'm like, just ignore. Until I actually said, okay, this is what you've been talking about. So we have, of course, we have a committee for crisis communication. We discussed and said, well, just say it is fake. So we said, this is fake, just ignore. The following day, someone goes to another stage and now goes ahead and inserts a signature for the executive director of your name. I said, no, this is something else. But anyway, all said and done, I want to allay the fears of the candidates, of the senior 4 candidates or vacationists. I want to allay the fears of the parents and the teachers out there. UC examinations were held and they ended successfully. All the test items, whether for science or for arts, passed the validity test. In other words, there was no error in any of them, and that is what we talk about validity. Our mission as a board is to conduct valid, reliable, equitable, and equal assessment of learners' achievements. And we do this in a professional way, an innovative way, to ensure that at the end of it all, the learners are able to get certificates which are recognized internationally. That anywhere you go on the globe and you present a UNEP certificate, you will be attended to, whether you need further studies or you need a job. And by the grace of God this far, no one goes with a UNEP certificate and they're thrown out. All they want is for us to verify and they confirm that actually these are the true results. Even people who need the language competencies, we always write for them and it's acceptable. So somebody who is trying to indicate that there was an error in our physics papers and that they are going to be repeated is trying to tarnish the image, not just of the board, but also of the entire nation, because we issue international certificates. But right now, I want to assure the nation, I want to allay any fears that all our test items, our examination materials, all do pass the validity test. And there was no error at all whatsoever. And the examinations ended successfully. We are now going to embark onto the marking starting this week. So I want to assure the senior 4 candidates. I know some of them were worried, Madam, are we coming back? You know how you finish, you're like, I'm done with an exam. And somebody tells you,
you really want to run away.
You want to run away, it's crazy. So kindly, enjoy your vacation, please. The examinations are done, and there's no error in any of our test items. I can assure you that, whether in any of the arts or the science subjects, it shall be well. And just sit back, do what you're supposed to be doing, relax, but do engage yourselves productively, and we shall have the results released towards the end of January for UCE. So for the nation out there, please ignore whatever was going on social media, claiming that that there was an error. And whoever is doing that, by the way, we want to caution you, because we are going to get to the root of it. Kindly, when it comes to your phone, by the way, do not share it anymore, because we don't want you to get into the racket. And we are going to get to the source of this document, and we are going to get you for uttering false information, but also also defaming the name of the ED of your name, as well as forgery, because you forged somebody's signature.
Well, great assurance from our guest for the day for all that talk and the rumors that have been ongoing via social media. Well, congratulations once again to the parents and the candidates out there, the vacists. Enjoy responsibly, I should say, when it comes to your vacation. Clarity from the national broadcaster. Thank you so much, Jennifer Kahunde, for making time to come to our studios.
Great.
Wish you all the best throughout the entire exercise.
Thank you.
Well, for the viewer, thank you so much for making time as well to watch the weekly news roundup. Wish you a blessed day and, of course, a fruitful week ahead. My name is Sandra Kahunde, and our guest for the day, Jennifer Kahunde. It's been a pleasure spending time with you. God bless you.
God bless.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The family of Mr. Samuel Chigundu with deep sorrow announces the passing of their beloved wife, mother and grandmother, Mrs. Mebo Chigundu, which occurred on Sunday 19th November 2023 in Hyderabad, India.